Hi, boys and girls. So let's move into our story. We're going to do Venus, the flytrap who wouldn't eat flies. So I know that when we talked about the story earlier, we talked about how a Venus flytrap is a real plant. It has these little hairs around the inside on the sides of its leaves right there. And when a fly comes and lands inside or touches them, it immediately closes over on it, and juices from inside the plant actually come in and digest whatever has flown in there. So this is actually a fiction story that's based on a real type of plant. There really are plants called Venus flytraps. And I'll attach a short video that talks about them. But we're going to read about a flytrap who wouldn't eat flies, which is kind of strange, isn't it? So let's go on and take a look and preview our story before we start. So one of the main characters of the story is a boy named Mason and his mom. And Mason has a new Venus flytrap. And he says Venus is a little different. How is she different? Think about what we just talked about and what the title of the story is. Okay, she doesn't catch flies. So she never catches the flies buzzing around the window. I mean, if you had a Venus flytrap, you would say, yay, it's going to get on my bugs. But she does not do that. So let's turn the page and find out more. On page 4 and 5, Mason asked Venus if she would eat a crunchy cricket. What about a crunchy cricket? What two letters would you expect to see first in the word crunchy and cricket? If you said CR, you are correct. Okay, the cr sound is made with CR, crunchy and cricket. All right, let's move on to the next couple pages. So on page 7, Mason says, flytraps aren't like other plants. So how are they different? They can't make their own food, so they have to eat bugs. Ugh. So let's move on. On pages 8 and 9, what does the author tell you to let you know how Venus felt about bugs? Let's look at this page right here. I'm going to read it, and you think about what does the author tell you to show you how Venus felt about bugs. When she heard the word bugs, Venus shook. She sank down in her pot. Yes, said Mason, she's supposed to gobble up flies and wasps and beetles. Ew, 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 said Venus as she covered her ears. So look at this whole page again. What are some things that the author says about what Venus does to show that how she feels about bugs? Well, first we see that she shook. When you're scared, you shake. She sank down in her pot. She's trying to get away. And she says, ew, ew, ew. That's what we say when something's gross, right? And she covered her ears. She doesn't even want to hear about having a bug inside of her mouth. Blah. Kind of like we would feel, isn't it? Okay, so now think about, well, what do you think might happen to solve the problem that Mason is having with his Venus flytrap? What do you think might happen? Okay, so they wind up going to pizza pie place. Mom suggests they take her to Papa Longo. So we're going to find out what happens when she does that. Okay, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to take it back to the beginning of the story. I'm going to read the first page, and then I'm not going to read any more to you. I'm going to ask you to read it to yourself. Now, I'm not going to leave this on each page very long, so if you need more time before I turn the page, you can just pause the video so you can read it, all right? Mason was having a terrible time with his new Venus flytrap. Flytraps are plants that eat bugs. Well, they're supposed to eat bugs. Venus is a little different, Mason told Mom. Why do you say that? Asked Mom. She never catches the flies buzzing around the window. Okay, you're going to go ahead and read the rest to yourself. Remember, if you need more time, pause the video before going ahead. I'm gonna bring this a little closer. Okay, again, if you need to go back and read more time on each page, that is so okay. It's just I don't have as much time on my video to wait as long as you might need to read that page, but that's okay. You can rewind the video, press pause till you're done reading the page, then press go. Okay, now let's talk about the story. As we talk about the story today, I want you to think of a few things. I'm going to bring this up a little bit so we can see everything I've written on my board. Okay, so we're going to think about these things. Somebody wanted, but so. Somebody wanted, but so. This is a way of retelling what's happened in the story. Somebody, what character, wanted, what did they want, or in this case maybe not want, but what happened? So how did the problem get solved? And the other thing we're going to think about, you guys have been talking in your classes this week about what's the main idea. The main idea is, what is it mostly about? And as you see to answer these questions right here, I want you to use evidence from the text of what your answer is. So I'm going to post something that you can use to help you get started with this. But these are the questions I want you to talk about. Somebody who wanted, what did they want, but so. And this is a way of retelling the story. Okay, so you're going to think about what happened, what was the problem, how did it get solved, and what is the story mostly about? In other words, what is the main idea? I'm going to go ahead and post it.